Before the Republic, Rome was a kingdom of mud and blood. In the 6th century BC, the true power wasn't just the crown, it was the crushing weight of interest and the chains of debt.
The patrician elite controlled the ager publicus, the public lands, but their most vicious weapon was lending. They didn't just lend money, they lent survival, at a price no farmer could truly pay.
The legal mechanism was Nexum, a ritual with copper and scales. The borrower didn't just pledge land, he pledged his own body. He became a nexus, a citizen in name, a slave in fact.
If the debt wasn't paid, the creditor could legally chain the borrower. They were kept in private prisons called ergastula, right inside the noble houses. Rome's foundations were built over family dungeons.
King Servius Tullius tried to organize the chaos. He instituted the census, categorizing citizens by wealth for war and taxes, but even he couldn't break the elite's stranglehold on the poor.
Historical estimates suggest up to 60% of the population was dependent or in debt bondage. The wealth gap wasn't a crack, it was a canyon separating the orders.
Then came Tarquin the Proud. He ignored the Senate but crushed the people. He forced citizens into labor to build the Great Drain, the Cloaca Maxima. Debtors became construction slaves.
The burden of continuous war taxes, or tributum, forced independent farmers to borrow just to keep their farms while they fought for the king. It was a cycle of service and ruin.
The Nexum contract allowed creditors to beat their bondsmen. The law protected the money, not the man. A citizen's back could be scarred legally if the ledger showed red.
Uncover the hidden history of the ancient world. Subscribe now for more investigations into the dark origins of civilization. Don't just learn history, witness the truth. In 509 BC, the nobility expelled the kings. They called it liberty. But for the debtor, nothing changed. The Republic was founded by the very creditors who held the chains. The new consuls enforced the old debts with brutal efficiency. The freedom of the Republic was strictly for the solvent. The poor traded a king for an oligarchy of loan sharks. This hypocrisy caused the first secession of the plebs in 494 BC. A veteran soldier collapsed in the forum, showing his scars from war and the fresh whip marks from his creditor.
Livy records his words, "While I fought for your liberty abroad, I was enslaved at home." This single moment of truth nearly tore the infant republic apart.
It would take nearly 2 centuries until 326 BC for the Lex Potelia to finally abolish Nexum. For hundreds of years, the Free Republic ran on the bondage of its own citizens.
The legacy of Nexum is the class struggle that defined Rome. The conflict between patrician and plebeian wasn't just politics, it was a war between the ledger and the life.
Do you see parallels to modern debt traps? Comment below with your thoughts on the price of borrowing. Join the discussion and help us uncover more history.
Rome's grandeur was real, but so was its cruelty. The kingdom ended, but the debt remained. History remembers the victors, but we must investigate the cost of their victory.